Hello, everyone. Today, I would love to talk to you about mental health, about how we can teach our kids, whether you're a homeschooling parent or not, a little bit more about how their mind works. And I'll be sharing the resources that I have so far uh, collected as my kids and I are doing a mental health unit study for our homeschool. So stick around for the full video to learn about some really helpful resources, and maybe these resources can help you to get your own ideas and you can do something like this in your own home. If you are new here, my name is Susan Morales, and my channel is called The Honest Homeschooler. I do try to give you my honest opinion about all things having to do with homeschooling, and I like to add the Christian worldview aspect to my homeschooling videos. So I'll be sharing some resources that if you're interested in teaching your kids a little bit more about God and, how do you add that Christian worldview to, for example, teaching them about mental health. Well, I'm going to share some of those things with you in this video. This is a still rather new YouTube channel, so if you like the videos that you see on this channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give me a like, leave me a comment. All of those things will help YouTube make my videos more visible for more people to hear about these cool resources. So thanks so much for watching. And the first resource, these are pretty much going to be all books that I share with you. I love books and I love making videos about books. And the first one that I'm really excited to share with you, I already opened it up. All of these, mostly all of them are open. So it's not like exactly packaged the way you would see it, this one in particular, when you open it. But I found this book that came with a box, and it came with a book, and it came with 8 feelings plushies. This one says peaceful, and you can see he does look peaceful. This one is scribble, and let me see if I can hold them all up so you can see. This one's anger, anxiety, which come up a lot in our household, as I'm sure in your household too. Happiness, love, confidence, how's this for a thumbnail? This one comes up a lot too. Sadness. And I showed you the other two. So these are all the feelings. And I loved it. That's one of the reasons why I chose this book, because it has that visual with those feelings. And so this book in particular, A Little Spot of Feelings, Emotion Detective. It's a great way to introduce to your kids about their feelings. It's a good visual for them to understand what's going on inside of them. And so this book in particular starts off saying, "Hi, my name is Scribble Spot and I am a little spot of feelings. I'm so good at spotting and naming feelings, I actually became an emotion detective." And he will teach these little children about all the different emotions that these little guys that I just showed you. So he'll be introducing those main feelings throughout the book. Very simple. Look, I love it. Kids love looking through all of these and reading through each of these. It's all of the feelings on this chart. And the other thing that I will try to show you in a little bit is a poster. It's actually the cover of this book, but you take it off and you turn it around, and it's a large poster where kids can see that. So anyway, in the end, because it teaches children how to detect feelings by like certain types of things, even the way your eyebrows, if your eyebrows are higher, or if your body language is slouched, all of those things. So it includes a little mirror here so that they can see themselves in the mirror and try to detect what feeling they have. So isn't this a great resource? And it comes with, this is a what would you call it? A brand that comes with so many different collections. We have to pace ourselves, right? Because those, if you buy a lot of those, it adds up. But we did go ahead and buy the collection, A Little Spot of Emotion box set. And this collection goes more into detail about all of these. So it's a little spot of anxiety, a little spot of sadness, peaceful spot, confidence, anger, happiness, and love. So, for example, this book, What Grows a Love Spot? It says, "Hi, I'm a little spot of love. I'm the feeling you get when you care about someone or when someone cares about you a lot." Would you even have thought of being able to explain love to your kids in that way? So definitely, I love getting resources because that just makes life easier to teach your kids. And I come from a lot of feelings and emotions: peaceful, confidence, happiness. And then it gives you ideas for what you can do to help others or for yourself. I haven't read this one yet to the kids, so it's interesting. I'm looking at it right now. Who grew your love spot today? And it says words, actions, quality time, gifts, affections. Did you grow a love spot today? Oh, so it's like, okay, being aware of, did someone make you feel love, or did you make someone feel love? So really great. And all of them, there are some of these books, it gives like little rhymes. So for example, here it says, this is a way you can calm your anxiety spot. So imagine yourself blowing the worry off of your gray spots. Now all you can see is a calm green spot. Taking slow, deep breaths is a great way to calm your anxiety spot. Now that it's not near you anymore, it can't make you worry. So little tips. If kids want to try those things, they can. And we like to get the feeling spot as we're reading it. So we kind of like to pretend that that one is talking as we're reading the book. It's really fun. The next things that I wanted to get are to help my kids to understand their mind, their brain. A lot of people don't realize that their mind, their brain is a part of their body. And so we need to learn about it. Here's a book. Your Fantastic Elastic Brain. Stretch it, shape it. It's like a reading book, obviously. The format is a reading book, but it's teaching you. And it's fun. It has a lot of pictures. This is probably one of the things I liked about this book in particular, how it goes into explaining all the different parts of your brain. Has a great visual right here, picture. And it tells you how to pronounce it. We like this book. This is the one we're currently using in our homeschooling. We read a little bit at a time, but we have read through it like one straight through way. I don't know how you say that. We have read this book through at one sitting. Yes. It's from Usborne. All of my books, I usually find them on Amazon. So, Book of the Brain and How It Works. And lots of little things you can, read these with a fun voice, and that usually gets my youngest attention. I love how they show these little pictures of like the neurons, things to help us like really understand what exactly does that even mean. This little owl helps this little girl to understand what's going on in her brain. Also goes through like explaining all the different parts in a more simple way. I think this book is a little more simple than the other one. Talks about electricity. Tell me more about seeing. This is why I wanted to get this book in particular. I really wanted to find a book for children about the memory, because the memory, it really impacts children a lot. When children have bad dreams, for example, or they are dealing with memories that might make them sad, or very fearful, things like that, it's important for them to understand how their memory works. I really like one of these right here. Most of your recent memories simply disappear if you don't think about them again. So if a child is dealing with like memories, they can read something like that and remember, okay, the less I think about it, this is how my brain works, that I'll forget a lot of the things, right? But obviously there's some things that we can do to help kids resolve some of those things, which I'll be talking more about in a little bit. So yeah, this book goes into a lot of things, fun little pictures, a lot of information we could talk about, easy examples so that they can understand for their grade level that they are. And I got this one because I really wanted a book that went even further into depth. Now this one really has, it's like a little encyclopedia here about all the things in your brain, and because there are some pictures or things that might be a little frightening for kids, I keep this one in my closet, and so I plan on, if we want to learn about something more in depth, then this is our resource. But definitely this is going to be a great book to have as they get older, and they're able to process this information a little better. This is going to be our go-to. It's The Human Brain book by Rita Carter, and it's by DK. I like some of DK's books. Okay, here is another fun resource that I found, Mood Flip Book, and also has more feelings charted there. I thought it was interesting how you could find the feeling, and then it tells you, I feel afraid, what can I do? And it gives you about 7 things that you can do. Like problem solve solutions, talk to someone I trust, breathe in like I'm smelling something good, breathe out like I'm blowing bubbles, tighten and relax muscles in the face, the hands, the tummy, hug someone if it's okay with them or a stuffed animal, write or draw what I'm afraid about, put it in a journal, worry box, or jar, listen to an audio recording or a guided meditation. And so you can tell your kids, well, what exactly would that look like for our family? Okay, we can turn on, for example, we love listening to scripture lullabies. It's so peaceful. We play it on Pandora. You can find some, I think, on YouTube as well. Peaceful songs. The kids love to sing them later on, and they really talk about God's power and greatness, and that helps the kids to feel peaceful. Usually lots of these You can even go, like, if you're doing homeschooling, you could choose one feeling each day, and talk about it, and yeah, this is fun. You can open it up and, just have it there on the desk. Maybe if they want to choose how they're feeling each day, you could use that as well. So just to give you some ideas. The next thing I'm going to share is a book for parents. This is a book I'm currently reading, Finding Quiet by J.P. Moreland, and it has personally helped me with my own mental health. It talks about his own experience, the author's experience dealing with very strong anxiety that popped up during very stressful moments in his life, how he's dealt with it, practical tips about when you're dealing with like a very anxious moment. This is what's going on in your brain, and this is what you need to do in that moment, and you need to try doing this at that moment. And so it talks about those things. It also talks about how we understand the human, even human psychology through a Christian worldview. And so I'm enjoying this book, and I'm finding that the information that I apply in my own life, I'm able to help my kids, to help them not to fall into certain unhealthy pitfalls that I had fallen because I didn't know it was a bad thing, and just helping my kids to know, even from such a young age, the healthier ways to deal with their feelings. I remember having bad dreams as a little girl, and they were terrifying, and I would usually go to my mom's room and feel like I needed to sleep right there with her. So dreams are a very important part of kids' lives, so we want to have some conversations with them about them. And this is a great book that I found. I love the Berenstain Bears books because they talk about things through a Christian perspective. And so this one talks about a bad dream that the kids had, and the mom, and it gives a little fun activity, stickers. And the parents talk through it with them, help them understand what happens when you dream. They're really affordable. I love affordable books. So another book, In the Dark. So you know how kids' minds, even adults' minds, can be really creative in the nighttime, and that could be scary. So it's good to have a book about fear in the nighttime as well. Okay, now for kids, what do you do about your feelings? Now that we understand how our mind works, what do you actually do? Well, I shared with you a couple of resources already that give some solutions, but here's a book that I love, What Am I Feeling? And this one also came with a poster. Don't have it anymore, because we got this book when they were younger, and things don't last that long, especially when your kids are younger. I have it somewhere still, though I'm hoping to turn them into like flashcards. But this is a story about a little boy that doesn't really understand what he's feeling, and he discovers what he's feeling at school, and the teacher gives him a way to cope with his feelings, name his feeling, pray about it to God, and then, face your fear pretty much. So all of the little children in this classroom learn about how to deal with their feelings in a more productive way. So this one emphasizes prayer, which is important. Not all mental health books give kids that guidance about praying. So I definitely think it's important to teach that to our kids. This is a book I found by American Girl, The Feelings Book, The Care and Keeping of Your Emotions. And This is something that I like to read, maybe just 1 or 2 pages at a time with my daughter in particular, and just talk about whatever we're reading. It does seem like for slightly older girls, I would say maybe like 8 and up, but it's still something that my daughter and I like to go through to better understand feelings. And the concept of God being great and helping people throughout the Bible, it's great to give children stories that might not have certain words that are scary to them, the D word, death. um, Hope I didn't scare your little one if they're around. But definitely love these books. Also would love to get all of them. They're written by Tim Thornborough, and I found them on Amazon. We love this one also, Deborah and the Very Big Battle. Love to read about stories of little girls, well, 4 little girls in particular, that they can identify with the main character. So I recommend those books to help kids stay in a perspective where I'm not alone in this world. God is in control. He's God. He's our creator. We are his creatures, and we can go to him with our concerns, with our fears, and he will help us. Something else that's important is to be grateful, to be thankful. The Bible, and especially in the New Testament, tells us to do this a lot. So I like this book. I had bought it for Thanksgiving, but it talks about this little family that's just kind of not grateful. They're just kind of, life is tough when you're little. And the grandma comes over, and Grandma Grateful is her name. And she helps everyone realize how they should be thankful to God for the little things. Like here, when Daddy read the water bill, he thanked God for his job. When Mama saw the laundry, she smiled at the kids who wore all those clothes. So, sister and brother also in this story. Very cute pictures. Here's one thing. We had bought a joke book. My kids love jokes. They were like makeup jokes. So we got a joke book. I like it. Most of them are funny. And it's a lot of them. The big book of silly jokes for kids. 800 plus jokes. So we'll just read a few of them. It's always good to laugh, right? It's good for our mental health to laugh. And I also decided, it's important and good for our brain to do things like puzzles. So I got my kids each a Totally Awesome Mazes and Puzzles book. It's nice quality. It's all in color. And a lot of fun things for them to do. Keep their mind busy, continue learning, having fun. And a Sudoku book. I got this one for my daughter, and another one that starts off with even smaller Sudokus, like going through numbers 1 through 4 to get them started. But I love doing these. It's good for kids to do this as well. And last but not least, I got one of these. It's called the Happy Me journal, and I found it, I think it was like on Facebook or one of those social media ads. But if you go online, you can find so many different ones of these. This is just the one that I saw first and I liked. They have different colors. And I got one for each of my kids. It has cute pictures. And in the beginning, it just tells you how to use the journal. This section's really cool, all about me, and your child gets to circle what words describe them. it's really good. What makes me happy, emoji fun, but just little things. Oh, here is where you could start writing like the date. Gives you a little quote. If at first you don't succeed, you're normal. Kid president is as the quote is from. And then you pretty much get to decide anything you want to list. If you want to list, like the other day, my daughter and I decided she was going to list her top 3 favorite colors. And it'll just be nice to be able to go through that. It's great writing practice as well. Then emoji of the day, you get to decide which one describes you the most. And every page has something different. How many can you check off today? I listened to my favorite song. I hugged someone. I did something that scared me. Someone said thank you to me. And then it gives you like 4 more lines where you would be able to write something down and check it off. I think it's good to journal because especially at that age, you can't really write too much yet or spell too well. So it's not like you're an adult or a teenager that you could just really write your feelings, your experiences, because writing helps you release a lot of those feelings. So those are the resources that we are using to introduce feelings to them. My kids are 6 and 7 at the moment, so this is really appropriate for their age. And I think it's a lot of fun. Really easy to read these things to them, and it's really easy for them to memorize them and help them throughout their day. And obviously, I don't expect them to, manage their emotions perfectly after this.